You said No Limit was hip hop's first assembly line.
Yeah, it was a hip hop sweatshop.
Hip hop sweatshop. My bad, I got it wrong. Now, we hear the stories of you got 2 weeks. P calling saying you got 2 weeks.
That's long.
Full-blooded.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Like
shit, I was like, you got 3 days when I did Shell Shock. I'm
Really?
like, what?
So
yeah, we been calling that shit like 3 days.
Was it ever any time, just like when your album wasn't up, that KLC, Moby, Carlo, Odell just hit you up and was like, Mac, I got one for you, man. Come meet me at the studio.
Yeah, that's why we always had all them songs ready.
Straight up.
Yeah,
Because this right here just coming, Fiend probably could have rocked this.
Yeah.
But this right here was perfect for you. This sounded like some old school Beastie Boys, Rick Rubin type vibe.
Yeah. And that's what we was going for, because I told him that's what I wanted.
Okay.
I said, Kid, I got this song called Hoes. I want you to listen to that old Run DMC.
Yeah.
That ho, ho. We just did a southern bounced up version of it. You heard me? So a lot of the ideas I had, KL, like when I bring them to him, I'm like, yo, that's what I need, KL, he on it.
Right there.
But we were working on so much material so often, like the reason those albums were able to be done in 3-4 days because we were always recording all the time, like all of us. So whoever album was coming up next, that song was gonna go on that album.
Straight up.
We just so happened to be making these songs while Shell Shock was about to go up next. Cause if Shell Shock wasn't the next in line, this shit would have been on Snoop album, Silk album, or somebody else's album that was up in line. We was just in there. We was just making the content.
Yeah.
And he was just taking it and putting it wherever it needed to go. Yeah, so it was like, it was crazy, man. I remember being in the studio for like 16 straight hours. Like, we was being there so much, man. It was ridiculous.
Knocking them out. Knocking them out.
We was in there all day, every day. Yeah.
So, shout out to your wife. Everything, you're a married man now. You're on a different stage. You're on a different level. Like, what were some of the things that you were experiencing being on No Limit, just from the groupies to the getting money to going here? Where was one place that you was accepted musically that you would have never thought of?
A city?
Yeah, a city. Just one place.
Man, you know where they loved me at? St. Louis, Missouri.
Straight up.
I think I did about 3 shows in 1 year in St. Louis, Missouri. It was crazy. Like, in fact, I did a show in St. Louis, and my opening act was the St. Lunatics.
Really?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? This was like, this is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? So it was like, this was way back, you know, and so that was probably a place I never would have thought of.
Really?
I had never been to St. Louis. I didn't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
St. Louis loved some Mac.
Yeah.
Germany.
Okay.
Yeah, Germany loved me too, man. They was going crazy in Germany. Amsterdam. I pulled the guy on stage in Amsterdam. He had Shell Shock tattooed across his stomach.
Damn.
Like, it was crazy. I just pulled him up on. He was fucking it. I'm like, man, come on up here, man. Get on this stage. Man, we were. I ain't gonna front. I would say this. Man, it felt so good to be a part of something that was bigger than me. It was bigger than, it was recognized all over the world. So it felt good to be a part of that. I think that's what made No Limit unique. It's like, P was the face of No Limit, but what people fell in love with was the camaraderie. They fell in love with the idea of a unit, you know what I mean? So everywhere we went, it really didn't matter who it was. We was the No Limit soldiers. Wherever we went, you know what I mean? People was just like, yo, and you know. And as far as me, I always looked unassuming, so I used to kind of camouflage. It's been my motto since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
I go anywhere.
I can blend.
Yeah. By the time people realize, yo, ain't you? I'm like, yeah, what's up? You know what I mean? So, Man, I can say that time in my life, I was 19, 20 years old. It was fun. I just remember thinking that it was gonna last forever. You know what I mean? Because it was just fun, and I was excited. I was irresponsible. And I wouldn't have it no other way.
Straight up.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Straight
Irresponsibility was fun as hell. You know what I mean?
Like, the No Limit movement I don't think that'll never be duplicated. I think the way...
Not that way.
Yeah.
Not that way.
Yeah.
That was something different. And let me tell you something, man. Shout out to P. Whatever, man, for that, because I don't think at that time, nobody else's personality was fit to run that label. You know what I mean? It took his type of personality. We're talking about a record label full of unsavvy characters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a label full of some real street dudes.
Hundreds of personalities.
Yeah, and we talking about some real street dudes, you know what I mean? So I don't think that it took a personality like his to be able to, to be at the helm of that. Because anybody else, anything shorter than that, we'd have ran over them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, man. Master P made it, he put it on the forefront of being an owner. I could say that because I rapped back in the day, but that was as far as it went for me. Rapping or producing or DJing.
Yeah.
But when P came out, CEO, what that is?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, hey, what that is?
I mean, he owned it.
Yeah. Then you started to be like, okay, I think I want to do that.
Yeah, like that's where the money at.
Yeah, and then it's like to galvanize and bring people together for something that's so big, because the love y'all get is crazy. Like No Limit, just the name, it's just crazy.
It was special, man. I just, them times, it's crazy that time flew by like this.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Shout out to No
Wild
Limit,
times,
man.
y'all. Wild times.
Off with a rebel.
Can I Ball, R.I.P. to Magnolia Slim, Soulja Slim. What does that song mean in New Orleans?
Man, look, that boy said, ain't nothing changed but the name when you say, Soulja me Magnolia.
Straight up.
You got that? Now keep the Glock 40 cock back, hold jock that when nigga y'all Slim used to be. Man, look. I would say Slim epitomized New Orleans street culture. He is the epitome. If New Orleans street culture had a face, it's Slim.
Soulja Slim.
He epitomized it, bro. He was everything that was the streets of New Orleans. And I like to say that he was the face of the street New Orleans culture. And Juvenile, if New Orleans hip-hop had a name and face, it'd be Juvenile.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the street culture, it'd be Soulja Slim.
So you were signed to No Limit first, then he came?
We came around the same time,
Around the same time?
I don't think Slim ever signed anything.
Really? So they just dropped the album on him.
Slim was that kind of dude. Slim probably said he didn't want to sign nothing. That was the kind, I don't know. Don't quote me. I don't know I don't know nothing about Slim's deal, but he the kind of dude, I don't recall Slim signing no contract.
Yeah.
Slim was a rebel.
Yeah.
I mean, he just was a different type of fella. That's what I would say.
So throughout this whole us sitting down and talking, and throughout your story, you definitely speak on your strong family background, like how they guided you and everything. In your past coming up, you dealt with some characters. You know,
a lot of different characters.
You dealt with some characters. How did y'all keep y'all relationship that way? Because it's always a crucial time when you're young. Mm-hmm. Like when you like 15, 16, you go one way or you go this other way. How did you and Slim keep y'all relationship where it was?
So I think just the familiarity of me and Slim, no matter what he was into, he always treated me like the dude that used to be on the playground with him at school.
Straight up.
No matter what he was off into. And I remember a time when Slim saw me and was like, when we got to No Limit, he was like, wow, man, why I ain't been seeing? Bitch, I know you be seeing me, you be acting like you don't want to holler at me. I was like, Slim, I don't know what you be into.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? Because by the time we made teenagers, he went, in a different way. And me, I was on his rap hustle. This was my hustle from a child. And this is what I was pouring all my time and energy to. Slim, his story was different. He come from a different, family dynamic. He come from a different environment, you know what I'm saying? Similar, but a little different, and he had to find his way another way. But when we linked back up at No Limit, it was like
it was just
he was at my house almost every day. My apartment was here. His was like right across the driveway, and he used to be at my apartment every day. Look, Ron, look, check this out. You know what I mean? And something that I've said before, and I'll say it again. Slim was a comedian, man. Slim joked. Well, we in New Orleans called Josin. That means like Jonesing, whatever they want to call it. All day, that's all he did. He joked. Slim ribbed me every time he saw me. Every time. And I just used to laugh at him. I didn't even take offense to it because he was a clown.
Yeah.
And he didn't care. And Slim was a brave heart. Slim would fight a lion. Literally. He just was, and knowing he gonna lose, he didn't care. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't care. You know what I mean? He was one of those people. He had the heart of a damn Wolverine or something. You know what I mean? But he was, for the people he loved, if he really fucked with you and he really cared about you, bro, he was all out. You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all ever have any deep conversations like, man, you need to chill out? Like,
you know how many times I told Slim to chill out? It was like talking to the wall.
Straight up.
Slim, I used to look, Slim would be getting into it with somebody. I'd be telling him to chill. He'd tell me, you trying to save these bitch ass niggas. I'm like, I'm trying to save you. What are you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? But that was just him. He was once he was up there, as they say, once it was up there, ain't no coming, it was stuck there. Ain't no coming now. He like, nah. So I used to always say, man, if he was your enemy, move to the moon. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he just wasn't, that was just him. He was a different type of fella. You know what I mean?
So did y'all ever get a chance to perform Can I Ball together?
No. Matter of fact,
Good question.
Slim recorded his album. 2 days before his album came out, he got locked up. So he never got to experience the success of Give It To Him Raw. By the time Slim got out of prison, I was in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, so we just, man, it was just crazy. It's just crazy. That's so, what I always will remember about Slim is that Slim was a hell of a rapper. Contrary to what most people know, Slim was smart as hell. Smart as hell. He had a serious vocabulary. You know, listen to them songs. He might be some street stuff, but his vocabulary was something serious. Slim used to like Wu-Tang. Slim used to like Jay-Z. Slim could draw, and he could cut hair. Real good. And he just joked all day. All day long. That was him. Whether he was involved, I don't care how serious the situation he was involved in, he was gonna find humor in it.
Straight up.
Man, you know, this nigga just snuck me. Man, that nigga punched the piss out of me. It was just, he gonna find some humor in everything. He just was a clown. Man, I walked in we were in the mall together, and he was shining up his goals, and they had about 10 dudes just like staring at us, right? The dudes could have been staring at us like, yo, that's Mag and Soulja Slim. Slim took it as they was like,
yeah.
So Slim was shining his gold, just me and him together. He like, sit around. I'm like, what? What them old bitch ass niggas right there looking at? I said, come on, let's go. I had to have him get Slim out of there. I'm like, man, let's go. He like, man, I sat around. I'm like, bro, we can't whoop all 10 of them, bro. It's just us two.
Man. Straight up.
I'm the only one got a gun, homie. You ain't got no gun. I'm gonna run out of bullets. Too many of them.
Shout out to Soulja Slim, R.I.P. man. Can I Ball, definitely one of my favorite tracks on there. Definitely one of my favorite tracks. Calling me. So before we got into it, I said if my life was a movie, this would be the perfect scope for this moment in my life.
Yeah.
16 years old, first piece, still in my mama's car. My daddy worked nights at the post office. As soon as my mama go to sleep, I taking that car, going to her house, climbing through her folks' window, got caught.
Of course you got caught. You were 16.
But the thing is, when I had them lonely moments, that was the song I was buzzing. Cause it was calling me, man. I ain't know what to do. It was calling me. Was that a Minnie Riperton sample?
That's not even a sample.
That's not a sample?
So I'm trying to tell you, that's Moby, man. Moby was somewhere else. When I first heard it, man, when he called me to the studio and I heard that track, I was like, yo.
I got to have it.
I was like, this is insane because Minnie Riperton is what it reminded me of. And it's wild you say that because I'm a Minnie Riperton fan. In fact, I say her name on one of my songs.
Yeah.
Man, I first heard that shit, I was like,
Riperton.
Yo, this is sick. So I just went and wrote, what I wrote.
Real life situation?
Yeah, it was based on a true story with probably a little exaggeration in it, but it was.
I'm glad I wasn't alone though.
Yeah, it was based on a true story. And I just think he had the perfect soundtrack to it, bro. That was like when I can honestly say Calling Me is one of my favorite songs on the project because of sonically how it sounds. And in concert, it evokes emotion.
Yeah.
And that's that moment where we done did all that. Now let's slow this thing down. Let's tell a real story.
Yeah.
And I think that's the perfect music for it.
I seen some clips of your stage show lately where you incorporating the live instruments and you getting on the keyboard. Like, what was your experience growing up, like, playing musical instruments? Like, you didn't? How did you pick that up?
Prison.
America,
when you're in prison, you got a lot of time on your hands.
Got a lot of time.
I decided in prison that I wasn't going to let the prison was going to be my university and not my cage. And so I found out a lot about myself and I discovered new talents I had and all of that. So I just started picking up the keyboard first. I learned that, and once I mastered that, well, not mastered it, because you don't ever really master it. Once I felt effective enough, I moved on to a different instrument. And those instruments were basically forced upon me by the band director, which is my homie, Ray Vaughn. Shout out to Ray. Once I got good enough on the keyboard, I remember the first gig in the prison that he had me play at, because we used to have events at the prison, guys singing, guys doing this. He put me on 2 keyboards. So the very first time I played the keyboard, I was playing 2 of them. Like one up here, one down there, I'm playing 2 at the same time. So right after that, the bass player got sent to the hole. So he looked at me, Slim, we're gonna need somebody to play the bass. I said, you ain't never pick up no bass. I learned the bass in about 3 days. I was done. So I started playing the bass. Then the drummer got shipped. Slim, no, I'm not getting on the drums. He's like, bro, I need you on the drums, bro. So I started getting on the drums, So I basically kind of just taught myself from watching. And it kind of helped me deal with the anxiety, the depression. When you're in prison, man, everybody in prison suffers from depression. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Yeah.
So the music room was my escape. It was where I went to basically be outside of prison for just a moment. It made me feel like I was free.
That's what's up.
So that was my therapy, was music. So
shout out to Calling Me, man. I'm glad I wasn't alone, man. That little girl, she tore my heart up, man. That was my
none of you 16-year-olds be trying to come climb back in the window.
I was
Cause you're gonna get caught.
Vito, what was you thinking?
I was trying to keep it low because two of my biggest fans I gave life to. So, you know,
Yeah.
so now they're gonna hear the story about Daddy wilding out. But it is what it is, man, because that song it's certain things in life, man, that just you hear them and a memory clicks. Like it's like calling me anytime I hear that, I go back to being 16 years old.
So yes, which brings us to the next song, which is a cold-blooded segue into the next song.
And we're gonna jump right into it. So we was waiting for this to drop in the club.
So
We was waiting for this to drop in the club.
So look, you just said something, and I just clocked it in. That's why I said it's a perfect segue. You said you talked about your kids gonna hear the story about how they. Yeah. So, man, this song here. Let me tell y'all something about this song. Man, when I wrote this song, I had no idea that this song would become
What it is.
a smash hit. God's honest truth. I had no idea it would become a smash hit. We were trying to finish up Mercedes' album, and we was in one of those, you know, one of them old, man, y'all got 3 days modes. You know, y'all got 3 days to get this done. So we in there just writing. So I wrote that song. Not long after, I got arrested. You know what I mean? So I didn't really get a chance I wasn't out there for the prime time that this was banging everywhere, right? But when I'm in prison, different officers coming up to me like, you know, your song is like in the club, everybody sounds like, what song? What are you talking about? Like, my song. They're like, ain't this you rap on? I'm like, yeah. So I went to learning, they went to telling me like, yeah, you know, I made my first child on this song. I made this. So I'm like, this is wild. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, what I learned is that this song is kind of pro-life. Yeah. You know what I mean? It kind of brings about some baby making. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Wasn't my intent, but hey, you know, we don't make the calls. You know what I'm saying?
It just turned to what it turned
We just inspired. We do what we do, and life do the rest. You know what I mean? So, P, being who he is, recognized that was a hit, right? So what he did was took it from the Mercedes album
put it on
504 Boys album, right? Because he wanted it to be to a broader audience. When I got out of prison and I performed it the first time, I knew what that song does. Is the first concert that I did when I got out of prison, and I just heard the whole crowd just singing it in unison. And I was just like, this is insane. Yeah. For a song that I wrote in about 5 minutes, that I really didn't give too much thought to, you know what I mean?
That's definitely,
I think people can relate to it.
Definitely a highlight of my club time. Like, the club is winding down. Like you said, we done jump and sweat. Then as soon as that, you go looking for that girl that you been vibing with in class, or you done seen. It's like, hey, come here. Let me holler at you. You said, what you saying that, like, how surreal was that? Like, when you was in prison and, like, people just coming to you, telling you about these songs, like, I know I've never been to prison. I know a lot of people
you don't ever want to go to prison. Yeah. America, none of y'all don't ever want to go to prison. Mark my word. It's not nothing to glorify.
I know a lot of people who didn't walk down 25 years and, you know, basically just trying to keep their mind together so they can get through their sentence. Yeah. Were those bittersweet moments with somebody coming up telling you like, man, Mac, your song killing in the club? How did you deal with that?
I think bittersweet is probably one of the best words to use for those times. I would say that because yeah, man, it was hard. It was hard to know that, man, I could be out there doing X, Y, and Z. One of the first songs that I noticed that had become a hit when I got incarcerated was Wobble Wobble. Mm-hmm. So I did Wobble Wobble. I got locked up and they shot Wobble Wobble's video like literally a week after I got locked up. And it was #1 on like all of the damn video shows, all of the charts. And I think the single itself went gold or platinum. And man, I wrote Wobble Wobble in about 5 minutes. That was just something I did for Magic for his Thuggin' album that once again, P recognized it as a hit and put it on the 504 Boys album.
That was a mystery too, cause when it dropped, we like, where Mac at? Mac ain't in the video.
Yeah, they had to
the TV up, didn't it?
Yeah, they had to take clips from my other video and stick it in there. And I remember just guys, every time MTV Countdown would come on or BET, I'm in the cell, they like, Slim, your song on there. I'd go get under the cover, I ain't want to see it, man. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't even want to see it.
Damn.
I was kind of drove, you know what I mean? But yeah, and they were both songs that I really didn't give much thought to be honest with you. And I'm not just saying that. Like, there was just stuff I just wrote. Because, I mean, you really couldn't give much thought to a lot when we were at No Limit because it was happening so fast.
Quick, yeah.
Everything, and, you know, we're up against a guy like P who was basically freestyling everything. So he was coming up with everything at the speed of thought. Yeah. There wasn't no sit down, we about to write this song. He like, Kel, put the beat on. I'm a soldier. Yeah. Man, I'm a killer. He just was going off.
Bad.
Yeah, so this was all freestyles. You know what I mean? So
nigga, you want some sausage?
So we had to work as fast as that. You know what I mean? We had to work as fast as that, but writing. So that was like, man, we couldn't give too much thought to nothing. We like, shh.
Straight up.
All right, so
I mean, you was about to go. So,
you go.
So the thing, World War III, your second album.
Yeah.
But like one thing, you know, is like we were talking about reading the credits. It's a lack of beats by the pound.
Yeah, no
on
beats
there.
by the pound.
How long was the rumblings in the air that they was gonna be gone?
Well, I already knew. You know, by then they had been already packed up and left. So I was trying to get ahead of it. I had already met with a couple other producers, and Kel and my dudes. You know what I mean? But I also had an album to finish, and you know I still had a career to maintain. So I went and got a friend of mine named Boo, who eventually became my co-defendant. My partner Boo was like, yo, you remember Kirby cousin Donald? So I'm like, yeah. He like, well, he produced now. He go by the name of XL. So he brought me to X's studio, which was in his apartment. And I sat in X's apartment and I'm just watching. I'm like, yo, this dude is guerrilla hustling. Like he's literally in there. He got people coming in and out all night. And his signature thing was when you left out his studio, you had a burnt CD of everything that you did. So you could go bump in your car. You already had your shit done, right? And he was charging them by the hour. And whatever he could do for you in that hour, he was doing it. Like he was doing your beat, he might sing your hook, whatever he needed, he was just charging by the hour. We stayed booked all day. And he charged you to use his phone. I'm like, this dude gorilla hustle. He had his whole apartment hooked up like he had a microphone in this closet, he had the equipment in that closet, he had wires running to the TV in his bedroom, and I'm just sitting in the living room like, yo, this dude is serious. So I just went to him like, yo, how much would you charge me to help? I said, how much your rent is? And he told me, I said, well, I'm gonna pay you rent for a month. I want you to come help finish my project. So that's what he did.
Yeah.
And he didn't no longer live there no more because he moved out to the Baton Rouge. P had brought him on the team. And that's when I went to the studio with somebody else and I met Bass Heavy. I met Bass Heavy. He was at the studio. He was a bass player at the studio that a guy got to play on the track. And a guitar player named Gene.
Yeah.
And Battlecry was written during a time where I was depressed. I didn't know it until I got to prison and started learning about depression. But I was severely depressed. I was at a stage in my life where shell shock's success had given me money, right? And up until that point in my life, up until my recording of Shell Shock, I thought that money would solve all of my problems, right? But once I had the money, I can go where I wanted to go. I can buy what I want to buy. I can sleep with who I want to sleep with. and I still felt empty inside. And I started realizing at that point that, you know, what was true was that at least a poor man had the hope that money would make him happy, because that hope gave him something to strive towards. But I started understanding why rich people killed themselves at that time. I didn't never think about killing myself, but I understood the mindset of when you have everything, you know what I mean, or you have at least everything that your little mind can fathom, and you still feel empty. It's like you don't really know what else life can offer you. So I was depressed, and Battlecry is a reflection of that. And this is why, you know, I was sitting beneath the sunrise, anticipating, just waiting. You know what I mean? Don't want to die, but if I got it, it's cool. Like, I just was feeling like if this is the end, if I got to go, then I'm all right with it. Is how I was feeling at 21 years old, man. So Battlecry was actually produced by my DJ Wap.
DJ Wap?
Who is now deceased.
Oh, all right,
he died of
DJ Wap.
cancer about 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And so every time I hear Battlecry, it's just like a reflection of all of that. You know what I mean? At that time, because Wap was somebody who was like a big brother to me. I didn't have a big brother. I was the oldest. So Wap was a big brother to me, somebody who taught me a lot about hip-hop. He was Manny Fresh's best friend. You know what I mean? And Manny Fresh paid for his funeral. Yeah, so when I hear Battlecry, that's all of that stuff going on, you know, playing in my head.
Did you feel like you came out of your depression after that album, or was it just a swift, finish this album, then you went to prison?
I don't know if I ever really just dealt with it. I think prison was the culmination of all of that was happening in my life. I was just in a place where I needed a drastic change. I won't say prison is what I needed.
No.
I didn't need prison.
Yeah.
But
just a new scene.
But in hindsight, I do know that my life was coming to a point where something was going to happen. Either I was going to die or something drastic was going to happen. Because I foresaw things, you know what I mean? And lockdown was one of the things I saw. It was a dream I had. I wrote it, you know, and I never knew that it would actually happen, but I wrote it and I spoke it and I saw it in my mind. You know, I had a dream and I just wrote the dream out.
Shout out to Battlecry. So like we were talking, I was battling this song or Empire because they sort of same kind of tone.
Yeah, the content.
The content. So this is just strip it down to its raw form.
Yeah.
Mike, bass guitar, shout out Bass Heavy.
Yeah.
He a funky dude. All the stuff that he did with Slim.
Yeah.
After the
Bass
fact.
truth.
Yeah.
Bass the truth.
He was coming
You
with
talking
it.
about he should change his name from Bass Heavy to Master Bass.
He followed me on IG.
He is the master of the bass.
He followed me on IG.
I've seen bass play the bass and the drums at the same time. While he playing drums with his feet. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, and he playing a complicated beat with his feet.
Yeah.
Like,
straight up.
and playing the bass. I'm like, yo, this is insane.
So when I interviewed KLC, he said that you and Fiend were there for any of them times y'all had to go somewhere and y'all had to battle to get up out of there. It was like, we're going to sick our lyricists on them.
That's what we were told.
How did New York embrace you?
Man, I never did a show in New York.
Really?
Till this day. I never performed in New York.
What's the farthest east you've been performing?
I performed in New Jersey recently.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
Why do I say New York?
But that was recently.
Yeah.
That was like a month ago, 2 months ago. Yeah.
Damn.
Never performed in New York.
I ain't know
Never
that.
performed in Cali.
So how this come about, this hip hop? What was on your mind? What was going on with you?
Fun fact. That was Master P's favorite song on World War III. Totally left field. Most people would not know that. When P came in the studio and heard that shit, P went and got this guy named Duffy from Priority. He went and got Duffy. He like, man, you got to hear this shit. Them niggas in the East Coast talking about we ain't got no hip hop. Listen to this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just really was, we was just having fun, man. We was in the studio. I just wanted it raw. I'm like, bass, I just want you to play this bass. And that was Magic in the background clapping. That was Magic, my partner Sam, my partner B.I.G. We all in the background just clapping. You hear me? We just went off. I was just like, yeah, I'm about to show them what hip hop is. They won't talk that shit. Let's roll.
Got you.
So that was just a fun studio session because it was just us having fun. We didn't want no real construction to the song. I just wanted to just let it vibe. We're gonna clap and just rap. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was crazy. And bass, bass, the master bass, you heard me?
So it's a conversation that we have all the time amongst my friends. When you sit down and you start naming lyricists out the South, like you come up in our conversations, like it's period. But when you get to media, you get the Scarfaces, you get the 3Ks, you know, you get the TIs, that type of thing. Is it ever been a time where you thought, what if I would have signed with Def Jam? Like how would they perceive me?
Actually, no, I don't think about that. But I do think that, and I can say this with confidence, and I know it's easy to say things in hindsight, but had I not went to prison, man, I would have probably been one of the top selling rappers in the world. Yes. I was gonna make sure of that. I was determined. Yeah. Like I was that determined. And it's easy to say in hindsight, but the determination I had as a kid, the stubborn determination, you know what I mean? Like, that was my plan from day one. From childhood, it was like, yo, I'm gonna be the biggest rapper, the best rapper in the world. Nobody could tell me otherwise. I didn't know enough at 8 years old to know that it can't happen. I didn't know enough to know that sometimes dreams don't come true. Fuck that. All I believe in my mind is this is gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I was taught as a teenager, study the greats so that you'll someday be listed among them. And that's what I was taught. And shout out to my homie who taught me that, my boy Jalil. He was like, man, study the greats, man, so that you'll someday be listed among them. And that was during my freshman year in high school. It was around that time I started studying the 5%ers, started listening to Rakim a little more, and just started understanding things at that age. I went through that stage. But that was very conducive to my development at that time.
Dope. Because it's one of those things like, P is a marketing genius. Like, I believe he's definitely a marketing genius.
Oh, yeah, he's the truth when it comes to marketing.
But we feel like Fiend signed with Rough Riders at that one point in time, so he definitely got what he got. But I always felt, I was like, man, if Mac was on the Def Jam, he would probably be up there. They would mention his name with these guys. Yeah. But in hindsight, we probably wouldn't have Murder, Kill.
Probably wouldn't, and I'm gonna tell you.
We wouldn't have Calling Me.
And let me say this. Mac still got the goal in mind.
Straight up.
Don't get it twisted.
Straight up. It's still going down.
Mac still got the goal, so don't be surprised, America. Killer Mike did it. Yeah. Don't be surprised, America. Don't be surprised, because the goal is still in mind. I still don't think, and man, this is with respect to everybody else that do what they do. I still don't think I still don't think most of them can see me on this mic. It's how I feel. And I stand on it. You heard that, America? I stand on it.
Can You Love Me? Mm-hmm. So you produced that song as well. Yeah. Okay, break that down. Like,
I produced the original version of Can You Love Me was done on ASR 10 keyboard.
ASR 10?
It was on the ASR 10. I basically laid the drums. I laid the vibes, like the electric piano you hear is like a Rhodes/vibe piano. So I just laid simple chords like boom, 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 boom. So that's how I had it. I laid a keyboard bass on it, just following the chords, right? Mm-hmm. So when I listened to it and I spit the rap to it, I was like, yeah, this is dope, but I want to get somebody to play the actual bass line and funk it up a little bit. So I called Bass Heavy. He played the bass on it. He followed what I had. And Bass Heavy is also a hell of a piano player.
Yeah.
So Bass Heavy sprinkled them other keys on top of the keys I had on there.
Yeah.
That's what gave it that sauce. That was that seasoning.
Yeah.
And then I got this guy, Gene, to come and play the guitar on that. You know, so that's how it all came together. Sons of Funk is singing on there.
Straight up.
My homegirl Peaches is on there. Shout out to Miss Peaches. My boy Jabbo is on there. At the end, my boy that sang on I Can Tell. And my homegirl Kenny is on there. So it's like that song, man, that was an expensive song. Got about 7 people on that song. Or more, like, cause it's 5 in Sons of Funk. I got 4 or 5, so I got about 8 people on that song.
Yeah, that's a deep topic.
Yeah.
That you touch on there. Like growing up, we heard the stories, murder capital of the world.
Yeah.
You know, but now in this day and age, you got the guys coming home that, you know, the killers. They coming home, they telling their stories on these podcasts, and then you.
Sometimes they telling too much.
They be doing a lot. But now that I'm grown and I realize it, it's like a sad situation.
Yeah.
Because these guys were so young. They was 18, they was 19,
They
doing
almost
all
got
this.
they almost got mind fucked into a lifestyle that was destructive for them. Destructive for the soul, you know, because in New Orleans at that time, well, let me get to Can You Love Me. Can You Love Me was my way of, I was trying to absorb the feelings of those guys that's in that dark place, you know what I mean? That in turn to the murder game to make money, you know, and that was something that when I was young, I was always curious about like what brings a person there. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, what brings you to a point where you're actually taking lives for money. You know what I mean? So Can You Love Me was my way of telling those guys, I see you, I understand. You know what I mean? It was like my way of showing empathy towards them because I knew so many guys that were not just killers for money, but that became killers through circumstances and stuff that's in the hood. And I remember them as guys I went to school with, played ball with, we did this, and at a turning point in their life, things change. They have a different facial expression. They have a different aura about them, you know what I mean? And some people think that these guys are just
animals,
and some of them are, some are. Very few of them are. But most of those guys are caught up in something that they don't even, either they don't understand or that they can't break away from. So they're in bondage as well to that dark influence, you know what I mean? And that dark influence comes by through different channels. Sometimes it's, you know, we all say what we won't do until we're in that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody do something to somebody you love, and it hurts you so much that you just ready to, you know, so Can You Love Me was my way of basically telling those dudes, I understand them.
Yeah.
That's why I opened the third verse by saying, these are the words of my niggas who came around to save their life. But they going through this shit that I speak every day and night because I seen it. You know, I saw them. I know them. I knew who they was before they became that. You know what I mean? So
I always say it, man, even Jeffrey Dahmer was somebody, baby.
Yeah.
It's as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
You know.
And it makes you wonder what brings you. So, in extreme cases like Adama, I don't know if there's a remedy for people like that. And I say that because that's without provocation. You know what I mean? So that's something that I don't really understand. Now, things happen in the hood. Should they happen? No. But hurt make people do some things, bro, that they wouldn't otherwise do.
Mm-hmm.
But in the case of serial killers, it's like, yo, so you just without provocation just decided I'm about to go eat 75 people? Like, that's not normal.
Yeah,
It's like, bro, that's not normal. For people like that, I don't really think there's a remedy.
Yeah.
If there is one, America, if there's a remedy for them, I don't know it. I don't have it. You know what I mean? I don't really see that being remedied.
With you saying that you did 21 years, do you think the correctional department corrects and helps?
No. You have to correct yourself. Now, do the Department of Correction provide the tools? Yeah, they provide tools for you to do it, basic tools. But the individual, man, you have to want change for yourself. Should the system be made better? Of course. Should it be made better? Of course. Can they do more? Of course. But on an individual basis, man, it's up to that individual. You got to want change. You got to want better for your life. It's all back to the individual for me. You got to want better. You got to know that there is something better for you. And you have to know that you are the master of your own consequences in your life. So they provide tools, but if you don't use them and take the initiative to change yourself, then it's like they didn't have them.
It's just a waste of time.
It's a waste of time.
No fear. So we talked about it throughout the interview, the injustice that was done, 21 years. You been home? How long you been home?
4 years and about 6 months. Wait. 4 months. 4 years and about 4
4 years
months.
and 4 months. How did you receive the reception that you got from the guys like Wale? You know, those type of guys showing you love and showing that they were fans of you and that they appreciated your music.
Oh man, I definitely appreciate those guys. They it just reminded me that it was a reminder for myself that all of the work I had put in, that it wasn't in vain. You know what I mean? That not only did the audience enjoy it, but to know that I inspired another generation of guys who are great. I mean, because let's not get it twisted. Wale is top tier lyricist.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
top tier
Wale
lyricist. So to know that to know that I could have had any type of influence on brothers like Wale, or either J. Cole or somebody like that, was, for me, job well done.
Job well done.
You know what I mean? Like, you took care of your business, boy.
Straight up.
You done produced some now. You know, you have some other people that were inspired. But just to know that these guys who were top dog lyricists, because that's all I ever strived to be, was the best at it. You know what I mean? And to know that these guys became at the top. Even Tip. Tip is one of the best.
Cold.
They can take the accent away. Tip is one of the best lyrically, you know what I mean? So he's another one that obviously was inspired by it. So when I hear those stories, man, and hear that those guys were inspired by it, I'm like, yeah, you did what you were supposed to do.
Take me to that moment when you first hit the studio. Your first time hitting the studio after being gone.
After being locked up?
Where were you? How was your emotion?
I was awkward.
Yeah?
I didn't know how I sounded on the mic no more. We went to, that was Monster Beast in them studio we went to. I kept on feeling weird on the mic. I kept on sounding like I didn't really know how I was supposed to sound no more on the mic.
Yeah.
So it took me a couple songs for me to get comfortable with my voice again, because my voice had been silenced for so long. You know what I mean? And to get back on that mic, you know, I was excited, but I was kind of nervous too.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I don't know how I sound to people. I'm 40-something years old. The hell am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, you have all that going through your mind. But eventually I got over it, and once that feeling struck again, it was like, I'm here.
So when did you put your plan together to drop the album? Was that being put in plan like coming up to your release date, or did you?
Ben was supposed to be out.
Yeah.
I was getting adjusted. You know, all of the plans I made when I was in prison, when I got out, it's like all that stuff just kind of was on pause, because getting adjusted actually was harder than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know, you got these, when you're in prison, bro, you got these ideas in your head, man, when I get out, I'm gonna do X, Y, this, and the other. I got out to a different world, man. Like a literal different world. I was like, this is freaking insane. You know what I mean? So I had to learn how to get adjusted to the phone. When I used to hear people say, you know, yeah, my phone, when they used to get so, like, people that worked at the prison would get so down and depressed about losing their phone, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand how
intricately
connected the phone is to their life.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I got out of prison. I'm like, so wait, everything is on your phone. You know what I mean? So that was something I had to get adjusted to. I had to learn how to not talk so damn loud. Because in prison, you're in the dorm with 100 dudes. So everything is, hey, what's up? Yo, you yelling, right? I come home, we go to Target. I probably was home I wasn't home a good 2 days. We in Target. So she talking to my daughter, she said, something about there goes some noodles. And I thought she was talking to me. I want no motherfucking noodles. I've been locked up 21 years eating noodles. So, she like, I wasn't even talking to you. I'm like, man, I'm tripping. So we take a few more steps. And she pointed out a pajama set. She was like, you like these? She was trying to give me some pajamas. I said, man, I'm a whole fucking gangster. I ain't gonna be walking around wearing this. So I turned around, like 4 or 5 people just looking at me. I was like, I gotta go back to the car.
Yeah.
I said, cause I ain't ready yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this world ain't really ready for me right now.
Yeah.
I feel like a damn giant walking through a little small garden. You know what I mean? I was like, I need to go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
But I just had to get adjusted. The music industry was different.
Yeah.
I had a lot of things to get adjusted to. The music industry was different. I didn't really know how to plug into the music industry because things hadn't changed. So that was one thing that took some getting adjusted to. My son, when I come home, was 21 years old. I've been locked up his whole life. So that was something I had to get adjusted to. Our relationship was, and you know, our relationship is what it is. We're still learning each other, still getting to know each other. We had to build trust with each other, you know, because I was away from him his whole life. When I got arrested, his mama was 6 months pregnant. So, you know, I spent every day of his life until he was 21, he had to visit me at a prison. So that was an adjustment. Coming home married, you know, with a family, I had to get adjusted, you know what I mean? It was just a lot. It was a lot, you know. I was used to the person that was taking care of everybody, right? So now I was the person that needed somebody to take care of me. That was an adjustment. It was a blow to my ego and everything, you know what I mean? So shout out to everybody that looked out for me when I came home, and I appreciate it because, man, I was in a total culture shock when I came home. You know?
Yeah, my cousin did 25 years, and he said the same thing. Yeah. Like every time I see him, I used to be like, how you adjusting? And he used to always be like, it's going.
Yeah, that's all.
Like,
You
it's
get,
going.
and I'm still getting adjusted.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
I'm still getting adjusted. As I would tell you, now there are some things that I'm thankful for. Prison taught me to be alert. It taught me to be very conscious of my environment and to read energy. Because in prison, everything can change in an instant. You know what I mean? Like, the things in the streets that are, the way things are in the streets, in prison is the opposite. Example. When it's quiet in prison, something ain't right. You see what I'm saying? I used to sleep. If it get quiet in the dorm, I wake up out of my sleep. Just subconsciously, you know what I mean? If it's too quiet, I'm waking up. Because somebody about to get stabbed. You know what I mean? Because everybody in prison is moving, talking loud all day long. So when things get quiet, something ain't right. Whereas on the streets, when everything is quiet, it's good. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's a lot of things I had to get, readapted to.
That's what's up. Well, I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, no doubt.
It was definitely an honor. Before you go, Breaking Grooves.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Well, shout out to my dog GCB, man. He just got a feature from you, and he let me hear it, and you was ripping on that shit.
Wait, which one was it?
It's a gospel song. It's like a gospel song.
Yeah.
And you was ripping on that.
Man, I can't remember what I said.
Yeah, you was ripping. I only heard it once. He sent it to me once, and I was just like, oh yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Man, I be writing so many songs. Bro.
Yeah.
I gotta remember what I said.
So with the Breaking Grooves that you got going on, we expecting another album? Like I seen Snoop jumped on the IG, say he need to get on the song. Like,
yeah, you heard what I told Snoop, right?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, let's do it then. Let's not play with it. Let's do it. So, and he's probably gonna get on it. So, Breaking Grooves was something that I just decided to do about a month and a half ago, about 2 months ago. I just was like, yo, social media is something I've been getting adjusted to. My wife has been helping me a lot with getting familiar with it, right? I see all kind of content on social media. So I had to ask myself, Mac, where do you fit? Like, what do you do? I'm a rapper. All of the other stuff that we do on social media, all of the stuff I see rappers doing on social media, I'm like, is that really what you want to do?
Straight up.
It's like, no, what I
straight
want
up
to do
is rap.
because this is what I do.
That's what I do.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, all right, let's go.
Straight up.
I've been home 4 years. It took me till about 2-3 months ago to figure this all out. I still don't have it all the way figured out, but I think I'm comfortable with what I figured out.
I ain't mad at you.
So the album is coming.
Okay.
Breaking Grooves is just the precursor. It's like, you had street teams, marketing teams, all that back in the day. So Breaking Grooves is my way of promoting it to let them know it's coming.
We're gonna get
It's coming. It should be here. We're getting it done for Christmas. It'll be out for Christmas.
we're gonna get a KLC on that one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna get KLC. We're gonna get Snoop on there. We're probably gonna get Juvie on there. I gotta get Juvie on there. We're gonna get BG is definitely gonna be on there. Fiend, Mill, Silk, they're gonna all be on there. I would love to get a feature from J. Cole and Wale.
Straight up.
I would love to get something with them on it, man, because them two guys are two of my favorites that's been out. Definitely gonna have my boy D1 on there.
Yeah.
That's why I got D1 on No Fear.
Yeah.
D1 is probably one of the most fearless people I've ever met in my life.
Man, homie go to bat for what he believe in.
What he believe in.
Gotta respect that.
And you gotta respect even a person who don't even agree. You gotta respect the man that's willing to stand and die for what they believe in.
Straight
and
up.
he's fearless.
up.
That's why I did the song No Fear with him.
Straight up. So before we get up out of here, man, let the people know, man, your social media, how they can find you, everything.
You can find me on Instagram at MacPhipsOfficial. You can find me on TikTok at MacPhipsOfficial. You can find me on YouTube at MacPhipsOfficial. I think Facebook is McKinley MacPhips or something like that. Yeah, something like that. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm still getting all of the other platforms,
Yeah.
getting all that in order. Because I'm getting adjusted, America. I'm getting adjusted to all this stuff. I still don't know everything about it, but we getting it together. And I'm going to make sure that the content I deliver is quality. Because this day and age, it seems like quantity reigns supreme over quality.
Yeah.
I'm bringing y'all quality.
Straight up.
Straight. That's
love
just
to
me.
hear
It's
that.
going to be quality.
Straight up. Love to hear it. Well, that's it. In the yo, man. Appreciate it. If you made it
You
this
heard me?
far, nothing but love, man. Until I see y'all again, hold it down.
And shout out to y'all. Shout out to Vito. Shout out to everybody in the building, all the brothers that's here today, man. Appreciate y'all. You heard me?